Welcome back to the Cyber Risk TV live stream from the Expo floor at InfoSec World 2024. We're excited to be here celebrating the 30th anniversary of InfoSec World. I'm your host, Mandy Logan, and today I'm joined by Shelia Burgess, who is the CEO and inventor at Intufo. Today we are going to talk about SCCAI Fusion, or distributed AI. Shelia, welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have you had a good con so far?
Oh, it's been awesome. We've had really interesting response, bringing a new emerging technology out into the market, and some excellent feedback.
Oh, wonderful. Now, has any of the questions that you've received resolved on what is SCCAI fusion?
Oh, yes, yes. We actually have a story with that. So we started out with a patented capability. We took the patent route in having a patented edge AI technology. But then our problem set was to solve the data leakage issue. And so we went from bringing on a new layer of cybersecurity into creating a whole fabric because it incorporated further cryptography, the zero knowledge cryptography type, as well as MDR automation, looking at data at rest, in motion, and in use. And so, what do you do when you have a protocol and it's been compromised by a man-in-the-middle attack? Or if you're trying to protect sensitive data from being exposed when it is under deep packet inspection. And so we looked at all that and were able to come up with a solution that can still protect the data from being exposed.
This is fascinating. It really is. And I can't pretend that I understand all of the technical parts that have gone into creating this fabric. I am curious to start. Let's start with what is Edge AI and how is it different than from the centralized AI?
Well, one of the things that we did, there's a lot of solutions out there from a centralized or an AI engine. And with those great solutions, this is actually a complement to it because it's the opposite of centralized. It's actually massively distributed. So we take intelligent agents and embed them into a data file so that your data file is self-aware. It can take its own actions like remove itself from a threat environment once it's been stolen, like in a ransomware attack. And it can also provide us information and alerts of what's going on so that we can have further intelligence at a very deep dive. And so what happens with that as well is since it's out on the edge, you don't have to go modify your data center. You don't have 10 times the power in order to have the AI solution. It operates on a mobile device. It operates on a PC. It's only 57K, so it's very tiny footprint with it.
And is it thrilling, or really, how thrilling is it for you to be producing a solution to a constant question that comes up about the use of AI and about the use of data, like the cloud native amount of cloud transfer storage networking that is done now, being able to provide something that is embeds with the data itself instead of adding another security tool. How thrilling is that for you to have conceived of something that starts addressing that problem?
Well, the whole genesis of it was data is typically the target of any attacker. And so when you take and cloud came about and all this, then we had challenges with the perimeter. And some people would even say the perimeter went away. And so we said, well, we can use Edge AI to be its own self-aware perimeter. And that's why if you have a capability that can enact and protect itself no matter where it is, then you're always in the know what's going on with your sensitive data, and you're always in control, if you will, because the AI will take care of itself.
Can you please, I can't get over this idea of self-defending data. Can you please share more on that?
Sure, absolutely. So if you have our capability, What we do is we register your device to our services, our Cloud AI Fusion services. And then once we register it, then that data is aware of where it's supposed to be and not supposed to be, who should have it, and what kind of rights they have to it. And so if your data is taken out of the environment, or if it's being shared with somebody it's not supposed to be shared with, then even though they may have some rights, it's not data rights management in the sense of you're utilizing metadata. There's the intelligence that's coming about. So we've transitioned into having the AI be part of the decision making, because a lot of times when you have attacks with data, they'll strip off the metadata, and then you've just got the encrypted payload. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, you are making me have to stop and kind of take this in. Can you provide maybe a triumph you have seen while using your solution in the wild?
Yes, as a matter of fact, our first official alert that came from this Edge AI capability, we were working along, and the capability got put on the dark web, and we started receiving alerts from Athens, and they had no idea. So the person that took the beta app that we were working on, they were creating data, and then they would go to access it, and it was disappearing on their system, and we were getting all kinds of forensics about what they did, who they were, and where they were at. So it was quite interesting, and it was a really good proof, because we had some people saying, well, nobody's going to click on that file. It's like, well, we proved that wrong.
Absolutely, and you have the actual metrics to show this is precisely what was going on. Has that already impacted then, like the incident response teams?
Yes, yes. So what has happened is we have taken and we have provided that further in-depth capability, but what's also really important is the impact that it has on the managed detection and response, because now we automate that process with AI so that the breaches that you typically have, or where it would typically take over 270 some odd days to go and detect and contain, the AI does it instantly, and it detects and it contains it, and it stops the breach from occurring. So from a risk mitigation standpoint, it's pretty powerful.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to say there's nothing more than really believing wholeheartedly on my side that that is not just powerful, but I do not wish to use the word game changer. I feel like that gets used too much. But having the capability to have the data itself go, oh no, we don't want to be here anymore. We are going to go right back to where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
That level of intelligence in trying to counteract what is being done by bad actors, by the nefarious individuals and organizations, I've got to believe that this has huge ramifications for being able to secure even geopolitically backed attacks and campaigns. Was that part of your driving force in wanting to create this?
Our whole thing was, how do you give people their data back and protect their sensitive data that they don't want to share? And the other thing about this is, with the capability that we have where the data can remove itself from an environment that it considers a threat, then a lot of attacks have been coming out to where they're waiting for quantum cryptography to be cracked, and to be able to breach the current cryptography algorithms. So if the data can remove itself versus the data sitting there waiting for them to be able to break the encryption because of quantum computing, then it's just another step further to help protect people's sensitive information.
Well, it absolutely is. And then for the security teams, So for the CISO and for anybody in the SOC, whenever they are alerted, okay, we've had a breach, we're having an incident, this is something weird is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the actual practitioners that are responding have a greater sense of personal security because they know that before they're even acting, it is being removed from whoever has maliciously taken it?
Yes, so they get the affirmation with the alerts and the notifications. And along with that, we have a whole fabric back in with it. So any data that's in our vault, which is it's storage agnostic, you can store it on-prem, in the cloud, and hybrid solutions as well. Anywhere that data is stored, it has its self-protection, but also we have the monitoring of the vaults that we implement on registered devices so that any consumption of that data is being monitored, as well as the behavior that does it to be able to detect insider threats.
I'm very curious. So with deploying your product, and I want to make sure I have the name correct on that. Go ahead and repeat it for us.
SCCAI Fusion.
Okay. So with deploying SCCAI Fusion into a pre-existing security stack, what can you tell us quickly about the ease of integration?
Oh, that's an excellent question, because we actually can sit alongside your security stack so we don't impact anything that you've already implemented. And we took more of a holistic approach. That's why we call it a multidimensional cyber AI fabric. And so it just sits alongside so you're not conflicted. And the implementation is quite simple. Right now, where we're at with the technology is with a single tenant implementation. And then as far as the devices that are registered, from a user standpoint, they don't have to be trained. You use the drive like you would your C drive or any other drive on your system. It's just, it has SEC with it. It's the SEC vault. And you can drag and drop, do anything you typically do. So there's no training on the user part, and there's no more burden on them. And the risk also goes away as well.
Shelia, you literally are bringing a huge smile to my face, and I'm not even a CISO at this moment. So I've got to tell you, thank you so much. Thank you for the years of dedication and the ability to bring this convergence of a very forward-focused solution to all of our security teams. So, thank you for all of us, from all of us at InfoSec World 2024. Thank you so much, Shelia, for joining us. And for full coverage of Cyber Risk TV at this year's InfoSec World, please visit securityweekly.com/ISW.